Antonio Brown. Raise your hand if you haven't taken off all your clothes, walked to the middle of your job, raised your hands and quit. Raise your hands right now. I see you. I see you out there. I see you, Sean Black. I see you guys on the YouTube channel. I see you. You guys are all raising your hands. You know what you've done. Who hasn't walked outside at that McDonald's job when you were a kid and your boys were going somewhere that you wanted to go? Who hasn't walked out, ripped off all their clothes, got down to their skivvies, and said, adios? Who hasn't worked at Ann Taylor in the mall, said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of all these people. I don't want nothing else to do with it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm getting down to the bra and the underwear, and I'm out of here. I'm guessing not many of you have. Would that be an accurate statement? Would it be accurate to say very few people have gotten down to their drawers and decided to walk out? Well, good for Antonio Brown. Now, here's the deal with Antonio Brown. A lot of people are coming at him. I have empathy. I have empathy for Antonio Brown. I have big-time empathy for Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown wants attention. Now, I don't know if he is psychologically damaged. I'm no doctor. I'm not. But I know this. I know mental health comes in very, very, very different forms. I know this. I have empathy. And I think Antonio Brown needs help. Now, I'm not a doctor. I mean, what the hell do I know? And I'm not one of those people that gets on Twitter and acts like they're doctors or acts like, well, you know, the son of a gun, he gets what he deserves. He's had a lot of chances. Yeah, okay. I get it. I do. I get it. A lot of people feel that way. I happen not to. I happen to feel empathy for Antonio Brown. I happen to feel that this is a person that has problems. I mean, look, and I'm not just basing it on this. Of course I'm not basing it on this. I'm basing it on everything that he's done leading up to this. You know, whether it's farting in the doctor, not paying his freaking chefs, obviously getting arrested, domestic violence, fight, all the stuff that Antonio Brown has been into, and now all of a sudden you do this. I don't care if he's got a rap video coming out. I don't care about any of it. All I know is he had $1 million on the line for two more games. He was given a hell of a deal by the Buccaneers and the best player to ever play football, Tom Brady, and an owner and a coach that embraced all of his difficulties. And next thing you know, he does that. I feel bad for him. Hey, look, Buccaneers will be fine. Football will be fine. I don't know if Antonio Brown's going to be fine. And I have real empathy for people that go through mental health problems. I've had real depression. I could not sleep on a couch. I know that that's just one small aspect of this. I take antidepressants. I mean, a lot of us do. Basically, my doctor told me, who is a very, very well-known doctor, everybody you see on TV playing sports or coaching is taking the same thing, Lexapro, that you're taking. So all I know is I have empathy for it. Whether that makes me a good guy, whether that makes me a soft guy, whatever that makes me, I'm not going to sit here and I am not going to rip Antonio Brown and say he's crazy. Everybody's kissed his ass. I've heard a lot of that, and that's great. I get that people want to say that. That's on you. Everybody looks at it differently. You know, my life experiences tell me I'm going to have a little empathy for me. Now, if I was one of the victims, I wouldn't have empathy for any of them. I loved how Tom Brady handled it. He handled it absolutely fantastic. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think that I am in any position to tell anybody that they're bad people, good people, whatever. Hey, I want to say hello to Nick Chaplin, Ryan Mueller, Jim Maloney, Anderson Langford. Of course, Van Pasterman will be here in a minute. All the guys and gals that are on the YouTube chat. I'm a big fan of the YouTube chat on here. I'm going to read some from it. There's a bunch of people on there. Sean Black's on there. Outkick's on there. Jim Maloney. Heels Giant. I don't even know. Bunch of you are on there. The YouTube chat is pumping. Just go to youtube.com or go to Outkick and check us out. Now, here's a different story in sports, professional sports, that makes you just want to say, I don't ever want to watch the NBA again. Here's a different story. You know who John Lucas is? John Lucas is really the original NBA player that went to rehab. John Lucas was a #1 pick. This is even before my time. John Lucas is a legend. If you know sports, or particularly the NBA, you know who John Lucas is. John Lucas was the #1 pick in the NBA draft way back, early 70s. He also played professional tennis. John Lucas was a good player, very good player at different times. But John Lucas's legacy is not at that. John Lucas's legacy is that he went to rehab numerous times to the point where he started the John Lucas Rehabilitation Center, Alcohol and Drugs. John Lucas has been in and around NBA players, the NBA head coach, assistant coach for 50 years. By all accounts, John Lucas, and I've met him a couple times, is one of the all-time good guys in the sport, one of the all-time real guys, one of the all-time guys that if you're going to look up to anybody, it should be John Lucas, not Michael Jordan in the NBA. John Lucas lives in Houston. John Lucas is an assistant coach. John Lucas is coaching 2 guys, one named Kevin Porter Jr., who was thrown out of his college, kicked all kind of crazy stuff with this guy. The other is Christian Wood, who's a good story. Christian Wood, UNLV, leading scorer on the Rockets, all this kind of stuff. Well, it's halftime of a game. This is the NBA. This is where I hear from people all the time. Well, we're grown-ass men. Do grown-ass men act like this? John Lucas, who is an assistant coach and should, by all accounts, have more respect of players, of people, than anybody in the league. John Lucas gets after these 2 guys at average, I think their combined age is like 45, meaning 23, 22, whatever they are. They're kids. But they think they're men. They think they're entitled, pain in the ass, important men. So John Lucas at a halftime of the game last week, I guess it's last year, gets on these 2 guys, Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood. Guess what? Kevin Porter Jr., this genius who's quit everything, decides to get in his car and leave the arena at halftime. That's this idiot's solution. The other guy, Christian Wood, says, no, I'm not going back in. He won't go back in the second half as leading scorer of the team. Why? Because somebody got in a, quote, heated exchange, quote, spirited debate, quote, called 2 idiots out for not playing hard. Called 2 guys out for not participating in a sport that they are paid millions at as hard as they can. And they go at an absolute legend. It's incredible to me. The NBA is unwatchable. I'm sorry, it is. And this isn't some old white guy saying this. This is just a dude that loves basketball. This is a dude that loves people that play with heart. This is a dude, me, that loves people that'll get after it. I don't give a damn who you are. We're going to get in the stance. We're going to play you. I'm the guy that defends the NBA, as much watch TV in the playoffs. But this shit's unwatchable. These people, if you can't, and I say these people, these players, if you can't respect John Lucas, John freaking Lucas, look him up. John Lucas in the alcohol and drug NBA community is the Mother Teresa of that community. Everybody's got their own community, right? I live in a community, but I'm also part of broadcasters. You got friends and coaching. You got friends. John Lucas in the basketball community is Mother Teresa. He has saved souls, including his own. And these 2 idiots disrespect him. I won't have it on my show. Dan, why are you talking about this? A lot of football. I won't have it on my show. This is a different show. I will not have it. I won't have it. I won't have it. By the way, if you want to find gambling tips, if you want horse racing tips, Ryan Cindy Mueller on Twitter, incredible. I won more money last year at like Roy Rogers Park when 2 years ago when the whole thing was raging. Ryan Mueller is the guy. He's on our YouTube channel right now. All right, let's continue on. Let's go back to sports. The Bengals clinch the AFC North. Now, the Bengals came from 14 down and beat the Chiefs, which is interesting to me, because nobody comes from 14 down to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs come from 14 down to beat people. It don't go the other way, people. It does not go the other way. The way it goes is simple. We are the Chiefs. We get you down 14. We're going to beat you by 24. Oh, wait. You guys down 24? All right, we're only going to beat you by 10. But no. Big Nuts Joey Onions, if you're looking, now here in Indy, we say Jonathan Taylor's the MVP, but if you're looking for somebody non-Brady or non-Rodgers, but I got to tell you, is there anybody doing more than Joey Big Nuts or Big Nuts Joey or Joey Onions, a.k.a. Joey Burrow? I think not. Let me give you some numbers here. Big Nuts Joey went 30 of 39. Now, I'm no math major, so I'm going to round it up to 30 out of 40. That's 75%, so this got to be somewhere in 77, 78, 79%. Think about that. 446 yards. 4 touchdowns. Now, all right, I know what you're saying. Well, they had to pass because they got down. Okay, yes, they did. They had to pass. They neglected the run. Joe Mixon, second leading rusher in the NFL. Hey, look, I get it. But in abandoning the pass, the guy that's abandoning the rush has to be able to perform. Big Nuts Joey. Holy hell. He gets the win 34-31, and right now it would be the Colts going down I-74 to take on the Bengals. That would be really good. That's a game I might go to. I've never been on a road game. I don't want to really get my ass beat, but that's a game I might go to. We'll get back to that more. I got a couple other things. I only got about 10 minutes to do it, and I want more time. Urban Meyer's under attack by a guy named Marcus Williamson. Marcus Williamson is a guy that quit Ohio State. This always happens. This always freaking happens. Guys that quit see an opportunity to make some money or get relevant by being a victim. How many times have we seen the victimhood of players? How many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen people become victims in an attempt to make money? So this guy, Williamson, decides, Urban Meyer was racist and the coaches were racist, and it's so hard to be a young black man at Ohio State. He showed a picture of Travion Martin, in our opening game. Urban's denied it, and it's a whole thing. Do you know how many former players have come out and said this is total bullshit? Every one. Cardale Jones had a great thread. But the bigger problem is this. How about Jamel Hill and all these race baiters just immediately buying it and saying Urban Meyer is a bad guy? Every one of these things, as soon as I saw this kid Williamson, I'm like, I guarantee you this kid quit at some point. And now he saw what's happened. Look, you race bait, you got a shot. You victimize yourself, you got a shot. It happens every day, all day. He did this. No, he really didn't. He did that. No, he really didn't. And all of a sudden, all of these former players are saying, hey, look, no. This didn't happen. All these former players are saying, I never experienced racism ever at Ohio State. Urban Meyer, Afterlife Wednesdays, After Football Wednesdays. Urban Meyer has more people that actually know him defending him than anybody I've ever seen. But you know what? The people that are automatically saying he's not are the same people profiting from race baiting, the Jamel Hills of the world. Here's Joshua Perry, who works at the Big Ten Network. Saw a former Buckeye brother sharing about his career last night. We can get into the free labor economy of college football as a whole, but painting OSU as racist ain't it. And Urban was a tough-ass coach, but he always invested in us players and people. Just a window into my perspective. Yeah, none of these guys aren't having it. But you know what? You know who is? The most popular. So now every time Urban Meyer opens up a Wikipedia about himself, he's got to read this bullshit. I talked to Urban yesterday. He's like, hey, as long as the people that know me know the truth. Urban's come out and denied everything. I don't know what you even deny. Travion Martin picture, I guess you deny that. I don't know. But whatever you deny, they're going to find something else. So I don't even know. You come out, you feel good about yourself. You say, no, this is what happened. And if you don't want to like it, then screw you. But as Clay Travis was saying on Twitter, and he's so right, there literally has been no consequence for people that have decided we're going to be race baiting, we're going to profit off of lies. Jamel Hill hasn't taken that deal down. She just called Urban Meyer a terrible person and perpetuated this guy Marcus Williamson's bullshit. Which I don't know it's bullshit. I know what every single former player that played under Urban has said it's bullshit. Every one. I haven't seen one come up and say, hey, Williamson, you're right. Not one. Zero. Zip. And it ain't like Urban can do a lot for him now. But it's the way we live. And you can say on Twitter, well, this guy did that to me. It's racist. And next thing you know, somebody will pick it up. And it's all bullshit. Hopefully at some point we get back to living our lives to where we care about what we actually did as opposed to what people actually think. It's good advice for all of us, including me. I'm going to get back into that all week. KIRK HERBSTREIT made the comment the other day that players don't care. I'm paraphrasing a bit. I know what he's saying. He's saying that, you know what, we got all these folks walking out of bowls. Guys are just thinking about the bag. Guys are just thinking about the NFL. I got to tell, and I love Herbie, and I think Herbie is good for debate. Instead of attacking Herbie, oh, he's an old man. No, that's not it. Everybody has a different point of view on things. My point of view on it is this. I think players work harder than they ever have. I know they do. I don't care if it's basketball or football. I saw the deal that my son went through, and I think of the deal that I went through playing at Indiana. We got yelled at more. We practiced more because the rules were different, but I wasn't in the weight room like they were. I wasn't 24/7, 365 like they were. I think college football and basketball players, and I know softball players because I got one living upstairs, work harder than we ever did. And to do that, you've got to love it. I also think if you want to opt out of a bowl game, I think I said this last week, I've changed my tune on this. I really have. I used to be the guy that says, man, you start something, you finish. Man, hey, look, I don't care what you do anymore. I honestly don't. You know, somebody made a good point to me. You know, Dan, there were 19 bowls when I was in college. It was a reward. It was something for a great season, right? But now there's like 44 of these games. It's not a reward. They are meaningless in many respects. And college football coaches fought a playoff for years for a lot of reasons. One of them was they didn't want a reward for kids to be diminished by having a playoff, and all anybody thinks about is going to the championship game. So I disagree with HERBSTREIT, but I also say this. I watched college football more this year than I think I ever have in the bowl season. Usually on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, I'm calling a game for ESPN, and I may get home in time to watch a game, you know. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no bowls, but I watched every moment. I'm telling you, my wife and I sat right down here, and I read 2 books. We sat there. She wasn't feeling great, and I watched bowl game after bowl game after bowl game, and I won a blank ton of money. But the truth of the matter is I saw kids playing hard. I saw coaching staffs after it. I saw kids high-fiving. I saw celebration when you won. I saw some great games. Ohio State, all these problems. Man, they balled. So I don't care whether kids opt out. I don't care whether kids opt in. The game goes on. The theater is great, and I love it. Everybody's pointing to Matt Corral as the Mississippi State or Mississippi quarterback as the guy, well, this is why you should opt out. I don't know. I don't. Maybe he should, maybe he shouldn't, but I know this. People respect the living hell out of Matt Corral. Too often we put an emphasis on the bag. I heard Mark Jones on TV talking about one of the quarterbacks that didn't play. He's protecting the bag, and that's a good thing. That's fine. But I think ESPN and me and all these outlets, everywhere you go for your content, I think we talk about the bag too much. I think we talk about next level too much. We talk about the elite too much. That's all we got is the elite. We care about the elite when really the whole adage, 99% of kids aren't going pro, is true. We got to start caring about all of it. We got to start respecting how hard it is to be a really good college football or basketball or softball or volleyball or baseball or whatever player. It's hard. We don't respect it. We're always talking about the bag. Screw the bag. I get it. Go get the bag. Most kids just want a ball, and I saw this on ball season. I'm all in on it. I am. I wish bowl season had another 2 weeks. I can't wait for Georgia, Alabama. I can't. I can't wait for Wild Card Weekend. I can't wait for all of it. I think it's awesome.